Hey y'all, welcome to Flourish with Kendra. It is Seed Starting Sunday, episode 5. Today we are starting sweet potatoes for slips, rooting some sweet potato slips, and starting several onion and leek varieties that benefit from an early start indoors. These are slow growers, but starting them now gives them plenty of time to size up before planting them outside. Let's get started on these sweet potatoes. Unlike most crops, sweet potatoes are not grown from seed, they are grown from slips, which are shoots from the tuber itself. There are two different ways that you can start sweet potatoes that I know of. One way is in water, and the other way is to partially bury your sweet potatoes or sweet potato in soil and allow them to grow slips that way, which is my preferred method. I have my container and my sweet potatoes. You want to start with pretty healthy sweet potatoes, and by healthy I mean they don't have any soft spots, they're not rotting in any way, just something that looks like this. I mean, they have little scars and things on them, and that's normal, but when they have like soft spots and things like that, they are not ideal to use to start them for slips. First, I cover the bottom of my container in potting soil, and then I like to add maybe a handful of worm castings. So I'm gonna go get that. This is just a preference of mine. You don't have to do that. They will send up shoots just fine without worm castings. Worm castings just add a little extra nutrients to my potting soil. And I just mix it in. So now that my worm castings are all mixed into my potting soil, as I like to think of the potting soil as the mattress part. So I'm like making my sweet potatoes a bed at the bottom. And now I'm going to add my sweet potatoes. So I'm going to try to make them a little snug in here. So now my sweet potatoes are in bed. And now I like to add their comforter and tuck them in. You want to partially bury your sweet potatoes in potting soil. So I think of the extra potting soil as a blanket. Alright, so we just push it all around and like that. So they don't need to be completely covered. They just need to look something like this. You can cover them more if you'd like to, but this is what I'm going to do. So now that I have them tucked in bed, I need to water them in. So you don't want to overdo it with water. You want to just moisten the soil. Just remember that they need to be moist, not soggy. If your container doesn't have drainage, it's easy to overwater these. If you overwater these, you run the risk of them rotting and you will have to start all over again. So just make sure that you are only watering these when they get partially dry. Just stick your finger in the soil. If they're still moist, do not add water. And if it's dry, definitely add more water to your potting soil. So now I'm going to put my humidity dome on, and I'm going to close it a little bit. I don't want to close it too much. You can close your vents on your humidity dome completely, but I prefer to leave it slightly open just to allow some air to get in here, because I like to set mine on a heat mat under my grow lights. So that is what I'm going to do. And I need to label my container first, and then I'll put it on the heat mat. Right. I am still using my painter's tape to stay organized, and my garden logbook. So these are my sweet potatoes. Today is the 8th. 2, 26. I have my label all made, and I just need to add it to my container. Okay. Within a few weeks, we should start seeing shoots come up, which are the slips, and I'll be including the progress on these sweet potatoes and with our weekly seedling check-ins. So I'm gonna put these on the heat mat, and then I'll be right back. In a few weeks, your sweet potato will start to send up shoots, and they will be the slips. They will look like this, and they may or may not have the roots attached. Here are 4 sweet potatoes that I have started. I started these a few months ago just in preparation for spring, and I'm sure I started them too early, but I also didn't want to be too late as well. So I'm going to show you how to remove them off of the sweet potato, and ideally you want your slips to be at least 6 to 8 inches long before you pop them off. I have quite a few really good ones that I can get off of here. So I just go here. Let's see if I can get you guys. Oh, like this. I have quite a few good ones, like this one, and this one is a really good one to take. So I want to take those off. So to pop them off, you can twist them off or just pop them off like that. Okay, there's one. And there's 2. This one already has roots on there, so this one should be pretty good. Let's see if I can find any more. This is a good one. So you can pull them off like I just did, or you can twist them. And there you go. This is a good one to use. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have my sweet potato slips all ready to be planted. This next step is optional. I like to do it. I feel like it helps my sweet potato slips to root faster. I use mycorrhizal fungi. It is a natural root enhancer. What I do is take a little bit of mycorrhizal fungi. I sprinkle it down here. I spray the ends of my sweet potato slips with water. I spray the ends of my sweet potato slips with water just so that the powder sticks to the ends of the slip. So I spray them. Now I just kind of toss them, and this is what it looks like. And make sure that I stick them in there deep enough that they can still stand up. All right, the next one, doing the same thing. Make a little hole. This is only my second time rooting my slips this way. Last time I noticed that they just rooted faster. The way that I check to see if they have rooted is in a few weeks. When I feel like they have, I come back and I'll go and give them a little tug, and if they don't slide out of the soil, not enough that they come all the way out, but just enough that you can tell that there are roots holding it into the soil. So I'm just gonna place this one in here. It is okay that when you first root your sweet potato slips that the leaves kind of droop a little bit. They're just getting used to their new environment, but they should perk up when they start rooting. And I definitely will up pot these if I need to. And I just like to make sure that they are snug in these little spaces so that they don't fall over or not root. Make a little hole with my finger. And and slide down into the hole. All right, and one more to go. I like to use the mycorrhizal fungi when I'm transplanting seedlings outside in the, just sprinkle just a little bit in the planting hole. It just helps the plant to adjust to its new location and to give it a better, stronger root system. I think last year was my first time ever trying it, and I liked it. I didn't have anything bad happen, so I'm just gonna continue using it. Next up are onions and leeks. These are long season crops, which means starting early is key, especially if you want a good bulb size or thick leek stems. The varieties I'm starting are Striesen German leeks from Renee's garden, Rainbow Trio long keeping onions from Renee's garden. And look at these bulbs. These are intermediate day onions. There are 3 different types of onions in this packet. And let's see. It says these high yielding, long keeping varieties include Brilliant Red Cherry Mountain and Golden Bronze Saffron F1 granule types, and Silvery Diamond Swan F1. All 3 of these are powerhouse hybrids, germinate quickly and grow strongly, producing heavy early yields of firm, big, crunchy bulbs with shiny, papery wrapper skins. I really wanted to get these just because they store well. I think that Walla Walla onions do not store well. I think you need to use those sooner than you would these. And also I'm pretty sure these 2 store well as well. I'm trying to grow onions that I can store for a long period of time. I know that these ones are long keeping. This is why I chose these ones. And I've seen other people have great success with these in my area. I decided that these would be great for me in my garden. I will definitely be showing you guys whether these do well in my garden or not. So, Sweet Spanish Yellow Utah Jumbo Onions from Fairy Morse. And I have more Gladstone onions because I ran out of seeds last time. I purchased these 2 from my local Lowe's. They had a ton of seeds, and I know that the Gladstones are intermediate day onions, and the Sweet Spanish Yellow Utah are long day onions, I'm pretty sure. I just want to see how these ones do in my garden, because here in Virginia, we usually need to plant intermediate day onions, not long day, but I want to see how they do in my garden. They do say on the back, it says, when should I start planting? And I am over in like the yellow part of this map, and it says February to April. It's February, so I'm going to try them, and this is what I'm referring to. It doesn't say that I can't and I won't be successful. It just says that we benefit more from intermediate day onions. But I just want to see what bulb size I get here in Virginia with a long day variety of onion. I've been wanting to try Renee's Garden seeds for quite some time, and this was my first time purchasing. I purchased these 2 along with, I think, maybe 6 other varieties of seeds. I'll be starting those ones soon, but I'm starting onions today. That is why I'm only showing these 2, but I'll definitely share the other ones that I purchased. Since I only have 4 varieties to start, and I have 4 blocks going across, 6 going down, 24 in total, I'm going to give each variety 6 blocks to themselves, and I'm going to sow 5 seeds per soil block. If all seeds germinate, there'll be 30 of each variety sown. Now I'm just going to label them. Rainbow Trio long keeping onions, and Striesen German leeks, and Gladstone. If you're having a hard time remembering whether your onions are for storage or slicing, put it on the back of your little name tags, so then it's harder to forget that way. All you have to do is take a little peek and you're like, okay, that's storage or that's a slicing one. Rainbow Trio long-standing onions, they need to be sown 1/4 of an inch deep. The Sweet Spanish Yellow Utah Jumbo onions need to be sown 1/2 inch deep. Okay, so they have different depths to sow the seeds. And these can get up to 2 pounds. That is huge for an onion. Oh my goodness. I mean, it does say jumbo. Okay. Let's see if we get some big old healthy bulbs for the spring. I really hope that I get some really big healthy bulbs, because onions are, to me, are kind of hard to grow. I mean, I know you just leave them, but I never have really good success getting big bulbs. And I used to get them from like the sets from the nursery, but this year I wanted to try my hand at growing my own bulbs, and I did pretty good with my first set of onions, but we had quite a bit of really cold weather that just took my poor little transplants out when I put them outside. This year we've been getting quite a bit of snow. We got snow Friday night, and we were not supposed to get any. It was not in our forecast. My husband got off and was like, "It's snowing outside." Okay, these need to be sown an inch deep too. These are the German leeks, the Striesen German leeks from Renee's garden. They need to be sown a 1/2 inch deep. So I'm gonna drop these on in their little space. Their seeds are smaller than a regular onion seeds. So if you're starting onions right now, are you growing long day, short day, or intermediate day? And then what varieties are you growing? Like, have you had success growing onions? And what do you do to get big, healthy bulbs? Some people say that it's not hard, but I can grow pretty much everything else. Onions, yeah, no. But I'm gonna keep trying. I'm gonna keep on trying. I'm gonna try every single year until I get some big bulbs. Okay, these are the Gladstone onions, and I started some of these a few weeks ago. I think the seeds I got last time were from Botanical Interest, but these ones are from Lowe's. They're the Fairy Moist brand, and they say 1/4 of an inch deep. So we're gonna go ahead and sow those. Oops, I dropped more than 5 in there. It's okay though. The more onions, the better. I'll have quite a bit of space to fill this year. I want a lot of onions, obviously for cooking, but also for pest management. I want to have way more organic ways to handle pests. And I know that BT is really good to handle pests as well, and it's organic, but I don't want to overdo it. If I can plant things to keep the pests at bay, then that's what I want to do. That is why I started quite a bit of chives, basil, marigolds, what else? And other herbs like sage and rosemary, things like that. I started quite a bit of those things because I can plant them in the garden in different places, and hopefully that'll help, because BT is like super expensive, but if I can cut down on the cost of buying things to manage pests in my garden, I'm going to do that. But I also don't want to have a garden that is ridden with pests and I can't even get harvest because there are bugs, caterpillars, and things everywhere eating my stuff up. And I don't mind a little bit of pest pressure just because I'm sure it's really good for your ecosystem. And I have a tree that is right pretty much at the back of where my garden is going to be, so there's quite a bit of birds. And I have a little birdhouse, so they will eat the caterpillars and things like that. I want to make sure that I'm companion planting to help my garden as well. There are things that I can eat, I can store, and all those things. I'm trying my hand at doing more companion plants, because I just want to see how it goes. I go through BT, especially during the summer. I go through so much BT, and it's kind of a pain to always have to order it and mix it and things. I don't have the time to be out there picking caterpillars all day long, every single day. Maybe on the weekends and things like that. And my daughter is not afraid of bugs, so she can help too. But I don't want to be doing that. I want to see how all of these herbs and things, aromatic things, because the what is it called? The marigolds did really great last year in my garden. And you only need like one marigold per square foot. So if you can just get those and plant onions or chives or leeks or something around the borders, I think that that would be a good thing. So I'm going to try to see how many of all these things make it to go outside. I just want to see how my garden does with me not doing spraying so much BT out there, because the BT definitely helped. I was able to harvest quite a bit of things, but I only want to do that. So like if it rains, you have to go back out there and spray again, and I don't want to have to keep spraying right after the rain. I want my companion plants to work for me as well. Those are just my thoughts. I want to see if that works. I'm going to go ahead and cover my seed tub. I'm going to mix these seeds in, put the humidity dome on, and put them under the grow lights. Every day I'm going to mix these seeds until they germinate. Once they germinate, I'm going to remove the humidity dome because then they don't need it anymore. And if you leave your humidity dome on too long, your seedlings can get leggy. So just letting you know that it does not help them anymore. Once they germinate, they need air, they need the light. Take that humidity dome off. I have recorded my seeds in my garden logbook. I've labeled my tray. Right. Now let's add the humidity dome. Now I'm going to give you guys an update of our seedlings. Up first are the seeds that we started on 12/28, which are flowers and celery. And here's how they are looking. So the snapdragons are doing really good. They're getting a lot bigger. I'm going to thin these very soon, probably today. They need to be thinned because if you notice, the ones here are taller and bigger than the ones here. There are too many in one cell. So yes, I'm going to thin quite a bit of these. And I'm not going to just get rid of them. I'm going to put them in their own separate pots. And then our Swiss Giants blend straw flowers are doing really well. All of them germinated. The asters are growing. The hollyhocks, I only have 2 up here. I have seeds, but they just have not germinated. And that's fine. This looks like an aster seed or something got over here. A petunia seed got over here. I think it's a petunia. But the hollyhocks are doing really well as well. Petunias are doing well. And then the celery. We only have 2 cells that did not germinate, which is pretty good to me. So they are doing really well. Alright, now we're on to our first wave of brassicas that we started on January 4th. And they are doing really good. Look at the colors. They are doing so good. Now, if you are having issues with fungus gnats, definitely look on Amazon. They have these yellow sticky traps that definitely help to catch the fungus gnats. And I will have a link in the description for anything that I use in my garden or for seed starting that I get from Amazon. There will be a link in my description. And then we're going to go over here because it's on the same shelf. But these are the hot peppers and eggplants and tomatoes that we started last week. And we have germination. So we have a Rosita eggplant that's sprouted. Yellow pear tomato. We have 2 of those. 2 black cherry tomatoes are sprouting. 2 sun gold cherry tomatoes. All 3 of the chocolate cherry tomatoes are sprouting. All 3 of the San Marzanos came up. Remember we sowed 3 seeds per soil block, and everything has germinated in the San Marzano block. Back here are the Hungarian hot wax peppers, and I see 2 coming up. I do not see anything in the Anaheim peppers. The poblano peppers are empty right now. And the Pasilla Bajo peppers, I have 2 that are sprouting. Early jalapeno peppers. The heat mat is definitely helping because my peppers usually take way longer than this to sprout. So right here we have orange habanero peppers, and I only see one so far, and then the shishito peppers. So there's one in there as well. These are the seedlings that I up-potted last week, and they have adjusted to their new homes pretty good. Over here is the second wave of brassicas that we started on January 19th, and they are getting really big as well. And these are some herbs that I started before I started this series. But look at my marigolds. They are already getting like little flower buds, and I don't know if I should pick them off because this is my first time growing marigolds from seed. Let me know in the comments if you've ever grown marigolds from seed, and did you pick your flower buds off when they were this small, or you let them just go? The chives are getting bigger back here, so I'm definitely seeing them get thicker, which is a plus. I'm very happy to see that. This one has always been thicker than the rest, but the rest of them are doing well also. And I see more sprouting here. And a fungus net. And then over there we have the holy basil, St. John's wort. They are looking really good. What is that back there? That is the Fino Verde basil that is doing really well. And then back there, all of the Swiss chard has sprouted. And I have to reseed those. And then here are the onions that we started on January 25th. And I got really good germination. I'm still waiting for the Walla Wallas in here to sprout. But I didn't get a lot. I didn't get very good germination on those. And then everything else is pretty much up and sprouted. Now, here are the leafy greens we started on January 25th as well. And I have good germination on all of them. I'm still waiting for some of my spinach to sprout, but this is doing really well. I can still see some of them coming up, like that one back there. So that is a plus. My roselle is getting bigger, but I do want to get it a grow light for these two, just so that they can continue thriving in the house. And over here is the variegated pineapple mint, which is still doing well in here also. Now on to the other shelf. Now this one I'm super proud of because everything seems to be doing really well. And the sweet marjoram, a lot of the cells hadn't germinated, and I had been sowed those seeds, but look, I have little baby sweet marjorams sprouting. And then look at these ones are way taller, germinated better, germinated faster. And then these ones are finally starting to come up. So, A+. I did sow some more cilantro and lemon basil just because I didn't get really good germination last time, and I wanted more of those things. Then the motherwort and singing nettle is looking good. I have the blueberry salvia. My flavor king bunch of onions are doing really well. What is that back there? The Cuban oregano looks really good. I still have not gotten germination on my echinacea. I don't know what I'm doing wrong with that, but my calendula looks good. My basil looks really good. My marigolds, again, you see they have little buds like they're about to get flowers. I don't know if that's normal, but I'm going to look it up and see, or let me know in the comments if you know anything about marigolds. More calendula looks really good. The Rosedale hibiscus. The Rosedale hibiscus is doing amazing. I'm sure I'm going to have to up-pot them really soon. My feverfew has sprouted and looks really good as well. More marigolds, and I need to water these. Now, I up-potted my broad London leeks because the roots were definitely outgrowing the pot. And I sowed some borage seeds and all 5 sprouted. And I'm gonna plant the borage with my strawberries. I have I had really good germination on my spinach. These are the seeds that I soaked. And look at how many have sprouted already. Some are still sprouting here. I'm waiting for the ones in these 3 blocks to sprout. But this one is sprouting and I need to water them as well. I had more butter crunch lettuce and they have sprouted. Red romaine lettuce. And down here are the herbs that I started before I started this series. More lettuce. My celery did not sprout yet, and these were the seeds that I started on February 1st. And I had to resow this entire row because I was not seeing germination, and lettuce usually sprouts pretty fast. I felt like maybe I covered them with too much soil because lettuce seeds need light to germinate. They are photodormant, and celery usually takes some time to germinate as well. And they look good. Here's our sweet potatoes that we started today, and they are on the heat mat. And our sweet potato slips. These are more of the rainbow trio long keeping onions that I sowed. These are more of the broad London leeks that I up potted from the other thing. Thank you for tuning in for this week's episode of Seed Starting Sunday. Don't forget to get those onions, leeks, and sweet potatoes started. I'll see you all next Sunday. Bye, guys.